Welcome back to Entertainment News Break. Get ready for another exciting week of what's happening in TV, movies, and the industry itself. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Taylor. Today we have the latest in television, movies, and what's coming to everyone's favorite streaming site, Netflix.
The first movie heading to theaters this week is La La Land, a movie for all the hopeless romantics out there. Starring Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, the film follows Sebastian, a jazz pianist, and Maya, an aspiring actress. These two are drawn together because they are both passionate about what they do for a living. But what happens when the big business of Hollywood puts their love to the test? Check out this film on December 9th. Let's take a look at the trailer.
Have you ever gotten tired of someone that you deleted them off of social media? There are usually no repercussions minus the nasty look from the person, right? Well, the next movie on our list will make you think twice before hitting that delete button. Friend Request tells a story about a girl named Laura, played by Alicia Dunham Carey, who deletes a strange girl off of a friends list. Suddenly, Laura finds herself fighting a demon that is trying to kill her closest friends so that she is lonely for the rest of her life. See this film in theaters on Friday, December 9th. Let's check out the trailer.
This week are a few titles everyone can enjoy. Sitcom's Favorite Family is back just in time for the holidays. The anticipated second season of Fuller House will be hitting Netflix on December 9th. The next show on our list is a new Netflix original. Captive is the new documentary series that will look into the stories of hostages around the world. Watch this show on December 9th. Lastly, on December 6th, the Showtime original Homeland Season 1 will be available to stream.
Netflix is adding quite a few interesting movie titles to its lineup this week. Comedy lovers, this one is for you. On December 6th, we have Reggie Watts' comedy special, Spatial, coming to the streaming site. The second movie on our list is Phantom of the Theater. Not to be confused with Phantom of the Opera, this film focuses on a haunted theater filled with ghosts of people who had been killed in a fire at the same theater 13 years prior. Lastly, Breaking a Monster hits Netflix on December 11th. Breaking a Monster tells the story of a young metal band finally hitting it big at only the ages of 13.
Well, that's all we have in movies and Netflix releases.
Up next, we have Lindsay with a discussion on how directors or actors can redeem themselves.
Hello, we're back on Entertainment News Break. I'm Lindsay, and this is Alexa out here. We're going to talk about how can actors or certain directors make a comeback from what society may consider an awful or bad movie. So, what do you think, Alexa? What is an actor or director that you think really needs to bounce back from what audiences may consider bad movies?
Well, first I want to say I think anyone can come back from anything, but I think it's going to take time, especially in Hollywood, because everybody's going to remember you for that one awful movie that you did.
It's true.
Like, for example, Kristen Stewart did Twilight, and Twilight, while it was a very, franchise movie and a lot of people liked it, her character was very, in my opinion, bland, and everybody just remembers her for it. How do you feel about that?
I agree. I think the fact that, the movie itself, was pretty bad, and the script wasn't very good, and it kind of seems like you're watching a parody, which means it's a pretty bad movie. But yeah, I think it does have to do a lot with how her characters are written out, and people are like, well, she played this bland person, let's make her play another bland person, and I think she has the ability to be versatile in her acting. You see with The Runaway, she's Joan Jett, that's very different from Bella. And I don't think she did too bad with that, but it wasn't as popular, so people didn't see it,
Oh yeah, that was a good movie, by the way. She's been in a few good movies since then, but they've been kind of smaller productions, so nothing's going to be as big as Twilight to redeem her from that. I feel like it's just going to take time and people to just forget about that whole franchise and for her to kind of come back from it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how soon it will take for her to maybe jump on to a mainstream movie again or whatnot. She does seem kind of okay with being sort of under the radar, that's kind of who she is.
I would feel the same way, especially after all the hype and tours and stuff. all over like the course of like 5 years for that movie. They went around the world and just throwing out there a bunch. And she seems kind of like an introvert. So, yeah.
I'm sure she doesn't seem like the type that may really care as well. I mean, what do you think?
I think she just like is a person that fell into acting. And she wanted to do film work, but she kind of ended up in front of the camera and she was just there like, I don't know, I'm here, I'm gonna do this, but I'd rather be behind the camera.
It's true. Another person that gets a lot of hate director-wise is M. Night Shyamalan. A lot of his recent movies has been very lowly rated. Critics don't really seem to like him. People do tend to agree that The Sixth Sense was a pretty good movie, but since then, has he really been able to bring back the horror genre especially? It's just kind of one after another, just not really putting effort into things. What do you think about him?
Well, I want to start off, he made the live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender movie, and it was awful, in my opinion. If you talk to anyone about it, I think anyone will agree. They messed up the names of the characters, they messed up the entire storyline, and there was characters missing. It just wasn't what, as for me, people of our like generation had grown up watching. So I think definitely with that he messed up, but he made Signs. Signs I grew up liking just because it was in my hometown that they shot it. So I'm kind of biased about that. And then The Sixth Sense is a great movie. I like that movie a lot.
Yeah. I was thinking with Avatar, it was almost like he was putting, oh, I can do this new project and I'm going to put me being a really interesting, diverse director before like the actual show and the fans. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like, I'm sure he didn't even watch any of the shows beforehand. It just is such a shame because the show was so popular and so revolutionary for a cartoon for kids, you know? And then he makes a movie and there's nobody I know that likes it, you know? So it's not just an opinion thing, it just seems to be a universal thing, like it's a bad movie, but we'll see if these guys can bounce back. That's all the time we have, but stick around for more news and television.
Welcome back. We have some exciting season premieres coming your way this week.
This December, Oxygen is bringing us a 4-part event series called Homicide for the holidays, which just proves the holidays aren't as jolly as we think. What's supposed to be a time for family, friends, and joyous memories are all but that in the grim series. With this special, we see the truth behind the holiday season with a bunch of tumultuous twists, turns, and tell-alls, all starting December 3rd.
One of the most successful recording artists of all time is letting us in on her life. Well, her world to be more exact. Mariah's World follows multi-time Grammy winner Mariah Carey as she lets viewers in on what life is like on the road. Kicking off her Sweet Fantasy Tour, we get to see the private and personal life of Mariah. Mariah says it's the perfect opportunity to show her true personality and get rid of any misperceptions. The truth will finally be exposed December 4th, only on E!
Everyone's favorite Broadway musical is back. Hairspray Live features the same plot but a different cast. Jennifer Hudson, Harvey Fierstein, Ariana Grande, and more star in this live musical adaptation, following Tracy Turnblad's dream of dancing on the Corny Collins show at her campaign to integrate the all-white show. Hairspray Live premieres December 7th on NBC. Run and tell that. Let's take a look at the trailer.
The hit series that brought us the fictional story of a British royal family who inhabits great wealth is back for its 3rd season. The Royals told the story of a family in modern-day London who live in the life of luxury, but also one that is tainted and full of chaos and turmoil. This season proves to be no different as viewers learn the truth behind one's death, or should I say, disappearance. With new additions to the cast, all questions are answered December 4th on E! Let's check out the trailer.
That's all we have in television this week. Be sure to tune in next week for more news on upcoming television series.
Up next, we have Lindsay with a discussion on the new docu-series Leah Remini, Scientology and the Aftermath.
Hi, we're back with another discussion, this time about the Scientology documentary. Here we have Mike. So, did you tune into this documentary?
Yes, I did, because Leah Remini is one of my favorite actresses from like the sitcoms I used to watch, from King of Queens and stuff. And I always like to see that she's doing something new and different. And I knew she left the Church of Scientology like a few years ago, and then she wrote a book. And I didn't read the book because I don't have time to read a book. I'd rather just watch something. So I'm glad she's doing a documentary on like the aftermath of her leaving and stuff.
Clearly, a documentary is better for us that don't have time to read. You know. Yeah, I think it's a very interesting idea, and I think it took a lot of courage for her to come out and speak out, you know, in the media to this. She got a lot of hate for it by members of Scientology. It was kind of scary, you know.
Yeah. She was like, she was talking about how she like was getting like letters. Well, it opened with like her like reading comments about like what Scientology said about like her making the show. And it said anything about Scientology made by Leah Remini, there's going to be some dumb reality TV show or whatever. And like they're like kind of like making her seem like she doesn't know what she's talking about, and like discrediting her from what she's been doing, even though she was like one of their bigger promoters back when she was in Scientology. So it kind of shows Scientology for what it is, like right off the bat, like how they're like discrediting their people that leave, even because they don't want to be in that, they don't believe in that anymore. And there was like accounts of like abuse, mental, physical, sexual abuse, and she just found all this stuff out and was like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
Yeah, it's seeming, after the documentary, it seems more like a cult than a religion.
Yeah.
You know, it seems pretty dangerous. Why do you think all these celebrities like flock to Scientology, you know, before like anyone else?
Because she did mention something like that, like it's not just like a religion, like, oh, better yourself. It's like, oh, in this religion we'll better like the community and we'll save the earth, like we'll protect the environment and all that stuff. So I think that's what initially draws them in. They're like, oh, I'm not just helping me, I'm helping my community, the whole planet. I'll be like greener or whatever. And then like behind that, it's just all that nasty abuse and stuff that happens. And there's she talked to like some lady about how the lady left the church, and like they like forced her like mother to not talk to her, like disconnect from her, like basically shunning her forever. But the mom was like, no, and then she left the church as well. So it like breaks up families, and like, I don't know, it's not good.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think you're gonna see more people coming forward about Scientology, maybe even more celebrities? What do you think?
I think so, because now that she's making this platform for people to like talk about it, and she like has like interviews with like regular people who were in Scientology and like their experience with like leaving and all the stuff that has happened to them. So I think a lot more people, like celebrities, will come out with it, with like leaving Scientology and like their story too.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, we'll see. We're gonna take a short commercial break, but when we come back, we'll have Tiffany with this week's box office top 5.
Hey guys, I'm Tiffany and we're back with this week's box office top 5. Kicking it off at number 5 is the science fiction film making $11.4 million is Arrival. Linguistics professor Louise Banks leads a team of investigators when spaceships land in 12 locations around the world. As nations are on the verge of global war, Banks and her crew must race against the clock to find a way to communicate without the extraterrestrial visitors. Hoping to find out the mystery, she takes a chance that could threaten her life and all of mankind. At number 4, making $12.7 million, is the drama thriller film Allied. Based on a true story, during World War II, an officer named Max Batten is stationed in North Africa, where he's partnered with a French resistance fighter named Marianne. The two of them have a mission to kill a German ambassador in Casablanca. When the two reunited in London, their relationship is threatened by the extreme pressures of the war. Coming in at number 3 is Doctor Strange. This Marvel fantasy film made $13.7 million this week. Dr. Stephen Strange, played by Benedict Cumberbatch, has his life changed after a car accident that takes away the use of his hands. When regular medicine fails him, he looks for healing and hope in a mysterious enclave. He soon realizes that the enclave is at the front line of a battle against unseen dark forces bent on destroying reality. Now Strange is forced to choose between his life of fortune and status or leave it all behind to defend the world as the most powerful sorcerer in existence. At number 2, making $45 million in the fantasy film Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This movie is a spin-off of the Harry Potter franchise, and it jumps in time to explore the wizard world of 1962 New York, which is being threatened by both mystical acts of destruction and a group of no-mage extremists. Author Newt Scamander arrives in the city as part of a global study of fantastic beasts, but he gets caught up in this conflict when some of the magical creatures in his care are accidentally released. Leading at number 1, we have the animated film that made $56 million, Moana. Moana is a teenager who is very high-spirited and decided to sail out to the seas on a daring mission to prove to herself that she is the master wayfinder and fulfill her ancestors' unfinished quest. While Moana is on her journey, she meets a demigod by the name of Maui, and the two pair up and go on an action-packed voyage, encountering gigantic creatures and impossible odds. Well guys, that's all we have in box office news this week. Be sure to tune in next week to see if your favorite new movie is still in the top 5. Up next, we have Lindsay with this week's news and entertainment.
What's up guys, I'm Lindsay and I'm here with the latest in the news industry. Last Monday, Disney gave audiences a first look at a behind the scenes of their more recent animated fantasies, the BFG. The BFG focuses around an orphan girl who meets a giant and the two become close friends. Spielberg shows his movie magic in the first behind-the-scenes video. Spielberg had always wanted to do a family-friendly fantasy, but technology was not as advanced. Now he is able to capture that with motion picture suits. He explains more of his technique in the BFG Special Edition, which is out now on Blu-ray and DVD. Last Tuesday, Scandal presented viewers with some key art, which will promise some huge changes in the upcoming 6th season. The key art shows the potential that the balance of power should shift. This brings to question whether or not this has to do with the election, which fans are still waiting on. Although nothing is set in stone, fans are waiting to see what Scandal has in store when it returns on ABC on January 19th. The new Rogue One, a Star Wars story trailer, has given fans insight into one of their new droids that will appear in the upcoming film. This time it is K2SO. Alan Tudyk voices the new droid and is an Imperial security droid reprogrammed to serve the Rebel Alliance. Some of the fans' favorite characters in the Star Wars films are the droids, so we can hope that K2SO is as lovable as the others. Rogue One is out theaters December 16th. And finally, Netflix has announced that they will now allow users to watch programming without internet connection. Users will be able to download programming on their Android or iOS software to stream right from their phones or tablets. This new update for the company is a huge step in allowing viewers to watch their favorite programming anytime, including long flights. Although not every title is ready for download, the feature does include Orange is the New Black and The Crown, so what more do you need? That's all we have tonight for news in the industry. Up next, we'll be closing out the night with another discussion. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to E&B. I'm Lindsay here with Regis and Brandon, and they're going to talk about some movies they saw over this Thanksgiving break. All right, so what did you guys see? What are some good movies you recommend?
Well, right at the top of the break, I saw Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the new Harry Potter prequel, which was really, really good, actually a lot better than I expected. And the thing that surprised me the most was that it was written by J.K. Rowling. Like, the credit is, like, it doesn't say, like, screenplay by and story by. It was just written by her, which is interesting because all of the other major Harry Potter films that are all beloved were written by this one other writer that wasn't J.K. Rowling, but she made the stories. But it's really interesting to see that, and it was very good, and the new characters are great. Newt Scamander is kind of like just this very awkward character that has spent so much time growing up around beasts and other creatures that he is just so awkward that he doesn't really act like a person. So you get a lot of just interesting interactions with that. One of the new characters is a muggle. Like, there's just a lot of imagination to it. Like, there's still a lot of life in Harry Potter even after 8 films.
Well, I saw Doctor Strange, and it's a Marvel film, in case some of you guys don't know, but it was pretty good. It was different. Like, it felt like its own thing. It wasn't really connected too much to the other Marvel films. he's like a sorcerer, so like he has the power of magic and stuff, and like he can like bring together like other dimensions and so it's pretty interesting. It had some humor to it too. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I also saw Doctor Strange, and I really I thought Benedict Cumberbatch was good casting for Strange, and he did a really good performance. My problem actually was the humor, because I felt that it was kind of pushed in and it felt uncharacteristic for Doctor Strange. But all the other scenes outside of that, I really liked. I liked the humor with his cape, when his cape was like beating up people.
That was fun.
I really liked how they finished the villain, that it wasn't just an action scene. It was Doctor Strange using his wit to defeat the villain, which is something we haven't seen in a Marvel movie before. I was really impressed by that. I also saw Kung Fu Panda 3 because I've been keeping up with the other films as they've been coming out, because I just really like DreamWorks stuff with How to Train Your Dragon and such. And Kung Fu Panda 3 was good. It wasn't as good as 2. 2 had a much darker story and just some really good humor. Overall, it was just a better developed film. 3 is more like, now that the panda has learned all of the Kung Fu he can, now he's being taught to be a teacher for other like trainees. So the whole arc is about him facing a new villain that shows up that is like a friend of like his old master, and so he has to defeat that villain while also trying to teach these pandas that turn out to be alive, because in 2 they build it up like all the pandas were dead. So now he's trying to save all the pandas while also trying to beat this villain, and it was fine.
I'm surprised that they're still carrying on with Kung Fu Panda.
This is the last one. It's over now.
Yeah, I was surprised the turtle had such a big role in it.
Yes, me too.
Because he was in the, what do they call it, like the, wasn't the underworld, but it was like the next world. And they actually gave him a pretty big role. I was surprised. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
So a lot of good movies coming out. That's all we have for tonight. Don't forget to check out Entertainment Newsbreak on Facebook and on Twitter at EMBA_IEPTV. Stay tuned for next week's episode, same place and same time.